Hello, hope everyone's doing well. Today we have an interesting video. This is a little side collection that I have going. I kind of started by chance. I was like getting these cards in packs and started, adding a few more here and there from eBay. It's a little grim. It's a collection of players who died during their careers. And I don't want to seem like I'm making light of anything because it's all sad and stuff. Um, and I am missing cards in this collection. I might get more, I might not. But these are the cards, in a few of the Mail Day videos you've heard me say, like, oh, I want to show this in our video. This is that video. So let's get right into it with the player that I have two of. It's Joe McKnight. Joe McKnight was a running back and a kick returner. He went to USC, and he was a really, really exciting player to watch in college. I remember I thought he was going to be an NFL superstar. I think he had some suspensions at USC. He had like the college had given him like a Range Rover or something like that, and he had some parking violations, just silly little things. And he went to the NFL, and he was not doing well. He played for the Jets, as you can see in this card, and then he went to the Chiefs, and he had like one really good game as a Chief, and then he got injured, missed the rest of the season, and maybe the next offseason was when he was killed. He was in like a road rage incident with some guy, because they were like cutting each other off or something like that, and they stopped at a stoplight, and the other driver shot and killed Joe McKnight, and so that was the end of him. It was a real shame because I really, really thought this guy was a great player. I don't know anything about him as a person, but still sad. This was the first Joe McKnight card I got. It's from National Treasures. It's interesting. It says playoff National Treasures. I didn't know that was a thing. It's a patch that it's got the patch is from, I think, a retro Jets jersey. It's an on-card auto, and this has got to be like the nicest Joe McKnight card. It's numbered 25. And then the other one here I got at the card shop just because I was rifling through the bin and I saw a Joe McKnight card, and it was $2, so I got it. I think this is the base auto. Yeah, this is the base auto from Hit. On to the next player. It is Chris Henry. And our football player, Chris Henry, went to West Virginia, got in a lot of trouble while he was at West Virginia. I think he was a supplemental draft pick. He went to the Bengals, and when he was on the field, he was quite good. He had some big suspensions. It was right around the time when they had the Bengals were kind of like the bad boys of the NFL. They had like Fontez, and I think Pac-Man might have already been on the team as well, and they had all these players who were in trouble, and Chris Henry was one of them. And if I remember correctly, that he was standing in the back of a pickup truck, and his girlfriend like drove away, and he fell out of the back of the pickup truck and was killed. He'd only played like a year or two. And I wanted a hard sign card, an on-card auto. This was the nicest Chris Henry auto I could find. It's from NFL Artifacts, NFL Facts Upper Deck. It's a well-hidden sticker. His signature, it's just like in print. He didn't even write in cursive. He did put the number 15 there. It's interesting. Preston Williams, a guy who, a wide receiver out of Colorado State, I've shown one of his cards in our mail day. Preston Williams reminds me of this guy an awful lot. Next we have another football one. This is Gaines Adams. Gaines Adams was a defensive end out of Clemson. He was a very high draft pick. This card doesn't say. I think these Topps draft picks and prospects, they come out before the draft, but he was like maybe a top 10 pick, and he went to the Buccaneers, and he was pretty good. He didn't put up like great sack numbers, but they were able to trade him a few years after he was drafted. They traded him for a second-round pick to the Bears, which is pretty good. And while he was playing for the Bears, he had cardiac arrest and he died. He was a young guy. He was like in his mid-20s. It's kind of sad. This is a sticker auto from Topps Draft Picks and Prospects. of Gaines Adams. Next, all right, so now we're getting into baseball. This first one is a card from Bowman Sterling. It's numbered to 150. It's Oscar Taveras. Oscar Taveras was for a time, he was the number 1 prospect in baseball. He was in the Cardinals organization. He came out of, where was he from? Card doesn't say. Sorry. But I think he hit a home run in his first at-bat, or at least in his first game. I remember that happening. And things looked really great. And off-season, he was killed in, I think, a car accident. So we never really got to see what the ceiling was for this guy. He was real young when he was killed. Up next, we have Nick Aidenhart. Nick Aidenhart was he was definitely on the prospect radar, and he was also killed in a car accident. Where he was drafted is blocked by price sticker. I think he was a first-round pick. It was 14th round, but he did have some prospect status. I don't think this card was a card store pickup. I don't think I paid $8 for it. It's from Stadium Club, which I like Stadium Club, actually. I think the cards are really clean. They remind me of kind of the cards of the early 2000s a lot. I guess this is a card from the early 2000s, but it's signed on card. It's not numbered. And Nick Aidenhart, car crash. Next, we have probably the most valuable card of this group. This is Jose Fernandez from Topps, or I guess it says Bowman Inception, but I think of it as Topps Inception. It's an on-card autograph. Jose Fernandez was a superstar. I mean, this guy was the ace for the Marlins. He was a really good pitcher. I saw him play a lot because I'm a Nationals fan. I watched the NL East. I saw lots of Jose Fernandez, and the guy was one of the best pitchers in baseball. He was killed in a boating accident. I think he was or I don't know if he was piloting the boat or not, but it was like a speedboat. They hit a rock and he was thrown from the boat and killed. This card was $15, and I bought it, I think, like shortly after he died. And it's interesting that these players who die, their prices of their cards don't really seem to spike up. People are really looking for like all the best rookies and everything like that. And something like a player dying doesn't make the prices jump, which I thought was interesting. This card was, I think, $15, and for a pretty high-end Jose Fernandez auto, I thought that seemed cheap. But maybe I shouldn't even be talking about prices. Maybe that's kind of weird, but I already did, so too late. This next one, Greg Hallman. This I got from a pack, and I didn't even know the story behind this card. I was opening a box of, I think this is probably 2004 or 2005. 2009. It's 2009 Bowman draft. This is, I think, a blue parallel. I honestly do not know if this is a sticker auto. It's on card. If it's a sticker, it's really well hidden. It's numbered to 150. And the deal with Greg Hallman is he was from Holland. You can see right there. He's from Haarlem, Netherlands. And he kind of came from nowhere, and he just started really raking in the minor leagues. And he made it all the way up to the majors. And things seemed to really be going great for him. And in the offseason, he went home to Holland, and he was stabbed to death by his own brother, who was deemed by the Dutch court to have been in a marijuana-induced psychosis. All right, last one. This is a hockey card. It's from Ultimate Signatures, Upper Deck Ultimate Signatures. This is a sad one. This is Marek Svatos. I remember watching hockey, and I was younger, probably high school age. Svatos came into the league the same time as Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby, and he scored over 30 goals his rookie year. The guy would have been a rookie of the year if he wasn't competing against Ovi and Sid the Kid. And he was a goal scorer. He was a fast skater. He was this really exciting player. And I kind of didn't watch a ton of hockey when I was in high school and college, and I started watching a lot of hockey this season, and I was wondering what happened to this guy. And it turned out he was dead. It was just this awful, like, sinking feeling. He started getting injuries pretty early on in his NHL career, and they put him on pain meds, and he just got hooked. And I think he was a really heavy drug user through the latter part of his career, which took him all over to the small leagues, like European leagues. And I think he was like done with hockey altogether. He had moved back to Colorado, and he overdosed, and he was 33 years old. He had a wife and like a couple of kids. It was really just a horrible story. So there's Marek Matos. That is the end of the video. That's this little collection. Maybe that's a weird thing to collect. Maybe it's not. But I hope it was an interesting, informative video. And I hope everyone has a good evening. Be safe out there.